movies, and somewhere close to Mashimoni area, there used to be a place called Kimungu, where we used to go to slide. It's very close to the Reli, so whenever it used to like rain, we used to, it was clay soil, so we used to go and slide there, swim. Kimungu is the space between the Mashimoni upper side and the golf course. You remember there is a tunnel of water underneath? That's Kimungu. Okay. Yes.
So you were born and raised up in Kibera?
Yes, Line Saba. Actually, for the past 30 or more years, my life has been around Line Saba, now Kibera as a whole. Line Saba is purely my home area with my family. We are just two in the family, two boys, my late mom and my dad, very close to the Line Saba Mosque. I even had to do Garaya. Growing close to the mosque, my life was around the mosque. I ended up even having to do this is not a nickname, this is also a real name. This is also a real name that I was given by the Muslims when I was growing up, because I was very close.
How did
very
they
close
call
to Muslim. Ismail Mohammed.
Ismail?
Yes.
Are you a Muslim?
I'm not a Muslim.
Okay.
But by then, growing up, I used to be part of everything around their life. And the name, I think, was one of the best names. I learned a lot of Quran back then, and it has also formed my opinion on religion at this age, because Islam taught me a lot.
So are you happy when we call you Ismail Street?
I'm very fine. Ramadan the other day I fasted. It wasn't a big deal. I think Christians and Muslims understand that Steve is purely not the religious type that has to shout out about either both. I don't create an issue about both, because for me, understanding Christianity, understanding Muslim, and even took interest into understanding Hindus sometimes in my
Wow.
So you know, I love the different religions, because all of them
understand them.
Yes, because all of them are pushing you towards spirituality.
Okay.
Yes.
So if someone wants to know who is Steven Zusa, in short, in a nutshell, who are you?
I am just a vessel.
How would you describe yourself?
For me, I'm just a vessel, and the reason I say so is I'm called to serve, and everything that I've done for the past couple of years, and couple is 17 years in my work in the organizational world, everything I've done on behalf of people. Nobody has pushed me to do anything. I've found out a number of challenges that I grew up with, and literally I had to find solutions for them. And coming up with either organizational solutions or using my network to solve those kind of problems. All this for me comes down to a vessel. Yes.
You're just a vessel.
Yes.
And I know you have done a lot of things in the community, and you still serve the community so much. What are some of the things you are doing for communities? Because I know you don't only work in Kibera, but all other slums, Madare, Kangemi, and others. Could you please describe some of your work?
At this point, I would love to mention a couple of names that have walked with me the journey. I started my work with at first I didn't have a name of what I used to do, because I started as early as high school in Form 3. But after Form 4, I kicked off something with a very, very powerful man in the society. Is called Frederick Juma Otanga. Yes, at this point I know if you will watch these, he's a great man. Okay. That's a great man.
Is he still around?
Yes, he is. He's doing green card and turning.
Okay.
Yes,
green card, taking people to America or what?
No, green card was all about football. Okay. Yes, it was all about football, using football as a tool to change people's lives, because it also had the aspect of sponsoring children, clothing children, feeding children. There's even a time we tried to come up with an academy school for Kibra personally, you know, for the people. And so the reason I've mentioned Fred is because we started with Pen Pals Kenya. Then we did something called Kibera Kenya Tulema Yatima. Then Green Card Academy. By then we also partnered and did St. Mary's Primary School down at Shilanga. Later on, I also partnered with the likes of Gabu, Mas Gabu, an amazing guy, Drop the Gun Initiative. I also partnered with Young Reformers, Young Empowered Youth Group in Lainsaba, Soweto, and Kibwezi area in Lainsaba. That gave me a better platform to start thinking through what other things we could actually do, because everything we did was about reforming young people, sponsoring kids in schools, feeding and clothing them. Then we came up with Kibwezi Youth Group. After Kibwezi Youth Group, we did Clean Bearer. Then Clean Bearer gave to Clean Bearer Sacco. Lisham Toto.
Is it still there?
Yes, it's still there. They're
Did you
doing
change names or
no. They're doing a lot of recycling and transportation.
And you're still part of it?
Yes.
Are you like the co-founder or executive director?
I'm a co-founder. And my cousin, who is Nestor, is actually the founder, with then a couple of other people from the Silanga area and Soweto. And even Lainsaba, because a Clean Bearer, I was under Kubuka, then Lisham Toto, then which gave birth to Made in Kibera Production. Yes, all of that was under Kubuka. Yes, it was under Kubuka. Yes, I was part of it. Yes, because Kubuka was the sponsor for all these, and I was the director of Kubuka. Yes, so Alvaro and his team, Mariana and the others, sponsored us, and Made in Kibera Production came through. After that, I remember I worked very close to Amani Kibera. I was also the director for quite a while. Ben is one of the greatest mentors.
Wow.
Yes.
You have been also director at Amani Kibera.
Yes. I hope he sees this, because
you are doing a lot.
He is a great mentor.
I didn't know you are also involved with Made in Kibera.
Made in Kibera. Yes. It's a whole journey. It's a whole journey. And I've met quite a couple of people whom today, as I mentioned their names, I'm at awe, because I wouldn't be these without them. That's the truth. And so I think immediately after Amani Kibera, I remember I got the opportunity to go a little bit above board, rather than come up with CBOs, because even in between, I really partnered with a couple of other organizations to do some work in Kibera. Then I got into HP Dauda Foundation and the House of Manji. Yes, so I was running the foundation, also as a director. And so that gave me now the platform to feel like I've done enough, and I think I need to start outgrowing my environment.
But wait, you have mentioned so many things, so many organizations that you've worked with as a director, some as a co-founder. Are you still attached to them, or you move and leave them and move into something else?
No. I am actually, one of the things in the leadership world that I've learned is when you are outgrowing a certain work or environment, you need to mentor people to take after you, so that they can do better than you. Because you will never be better than yourself. But someone else can be better than you. So what I've been doing over time, and I'll mention now a few things after HP Dauda, is I've been mentoring young people. Every space that I've been given to lead, I've actually pulled in young people, younger than me, 10 years even younger, who are doing like Marafiki Green, that is Ibrahim. I've pulled him in. Bonnie, also in Marafiki Green, pulled him in. Rebirth of a Queen, which is also part of my work, that is Pauline Juma, pull them in. When you pull young people, then they learn from you. What they actually do when you step out, they actually take over what you were doing, then they do something greater than you.
And you feel so proud of them.
That's why Baba Yao. I'm a proud father to so many young people. Yes, who are doing so much. I can attest this. Every time I see them doing interviews, doing work, traveling in and outside the country, for me it's a plus, because wherever they go like, we have a father. We've come from someone. We did not just wake up one day and start doing things. No, tulitoka kwa mtu, kuna mtu alitumenta, and that's for me is the legacy I want to leave in Kibra. That that I came from Kibra, but I left Kibra better. And by leaving Kibra, I don't mean one day I'll run away from Kibra. No. Everybody at a certain point in life grows to touch more other lives outside Kibera. And so the people I've also followed as mentors in my life, most of them come from Kibra, and they've outdone Kibra.
And I wanted to ask you that. Who are these people that you look up to? These people that have mentored you, or you see them as an inspiration?
One of the greatest ones is the late Mrs. Newman. She's the lady that sponsored me at my childhood.
Okay.
And for as a child, in primary and high school, I was sponsored by Special Ministries, who at the moment I'm working with one of their offices called Good Hope as their vice chairman. Yeah, so I'm giving back now through them again.
You have a lot of leadership in you. Is it something that started when you are still young, like just to be a leader and to take the leading roles?
It's a calling.
It's a calling.
It's a calling because a lot of people in Kibra who I schooled with in Mashimoni Primary, Mashimoni's quarters, can attest that all through our classes, God gave me the opportunity to be a monitor, then a prefect, then I was the assistant head boy in class 7, then I was the head boy in class 8. Immediately after, I was still a prefect in high school. Then out of high school, I was a teacher in Uganda for 2 years.
A teacher in Uganda? Which years were these? When were you a teacher in Uganda?
2017, 2018. 2007 and 2008.
Which school? What were you teaching?
I was in, there was a time I was in Nambole. Nambole is in Kampala. I think I cleared everything in Nambole. Then there was a time I was in Magale.
Okay.
Yes.
Teaching which grades?
Chemistry and maths.
Which grades?
Form 4.
Oh.
Yes.
You are actually teaching a high school?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I know you've mentioned things you've done in Kibera and the people you've worked with in Kibera, and I know you also have worked in different slums. But before we get there, you have a very fluent English and you are very eloquent. How did you get this? Which school did you go to?
Mashimoni Primary School.
Went to Mashimoni Primary.
Let me give you a testimony.
Yes, please.
This is something that has changed how I view the world. You see, a lot of people think coming from Kibra, Sheng, broken Swahili, maybe more or less, or someone who is just downgraded somewhere down there. I am what I am, not because first of the network I met or the school I found myself in high school. No. Actually, by the time I was going to high school, my nickname was Mzungu.
Mzungu?
Yes, immediately in Form 1. Because during my admission, the teacher that was admitting me, there were Form 4s around who were actually coming to look at walikuwa wanasema samaki mpya zimekuja. Those guys were around there and they could actually listen with a Form 1 who's coming in, what are they talking about. So someone just pinpointed out, he was actually, we call them the body, the guy who could beat the whole school.
The bullies of the schools those days.
So it's called Jackie. Jackie is the one who nicknamed him that way because immediately was there, I was just speaking English, I wasn't speaking Swahili. And the teacher was kind of like, no, unasema unatoka Kibera. And my dad said, yes, tunatoka Kibera. That was Machakos High School. So
Mashimoni Primary to Machakos High School?
Yes, that it was God's grace. So Mashimoni shaped me, and this is why. Mr. Nyauke is called Mr. Francis Nyauke, who is, this is the testimony I wanted to give you, Joshua.
Yes, please.
And I love the fact that you've come down there. Mr. Nyauke schooled me, tuitioned me. Mr. Nyauke still tuitions my children.
Up to now.
My children in the house. Okay? Mr. Nyauke tuitioned my late mom. Because my late mom wanted to know English because she was doing a Bible college. So Mr. Nyauke has actually tuitioned 3 generations in our house. So Mr. Nyauke was my English teacher, and I remember from as early as class 3, my mom proposed to him, if I give you this child, can I get a better product of a boy in Kibera?
Yeah.
Mr. Nyauke said, huyu nitamnyosha. Nitamnyosha. I know you will see these.
Yeah.
And those were his words, huyu nitamnyosha, because what he meant is he made sure in the morning I was in school on time.
Yeah.
And when leaving school, I used to find him in our house for tuition. We used to finish tuition 9 or 10 at night.
Umetoka shule.
He was that committed.
Kufika home.
Same
Tena
teacher.
mwalimu bado
Same
anakuja.
teacher. He
Was
used
he
to
like
leave our house at night.
Your class teacher or just
By class
was
5,
he?
by class 5, 6, he was my class teacher.
Okay.
But from class 3 upwards, he was the English teacher. There's a time once in a while I remember he changed from English. He still did English, then a little bit of science. But that teacher, I am his product.
Oh yeah.
The reason is somewhere 4, 5, 6 going up, he introduced us to Kenya National Library. There was a competition ongoing in the country of the best students in literature writing, poems, and essay writing.
Where is this Mr.? Is Mr.?
He's alive, Mr. Nyauke. Mr. Francis Nyauke is alive.
Mr. Francis Nyauke, if you're listening to this, big up man, you shaped this guy. We are proud of you.
I tried to think how I could give back to him apart from sponsoring his child.
Yeah.
If God blesses me enough, this is me now speaking so that people can hold me accountable.
Yeah.
I will build that teacher a whole mansion.
Wow.
Believe me, I'm his product.
Are you
I'm
sure about
purely,
this?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes, I am. This is purely no bragging. The capabilities are there and they're coming. I know. I will build him a house for him to give to generations, because I'm not just a product of this community called Kibera.
Yeah.
One man took upon himself and decided I will shape Steve.
Yeah.
He used to beat me both in school and at home. He never used to joke around me.
Yeah.
He used to teach me. He used to make sure the time that I go like I am tired, he used to tell me you're not tired enough. He will bring more exams for me. He will bring more books for me. He made sure while he took us for Kenya National Library, the competition, our class, the class I was in, class 6, 7 and 8, we were actually the number ones in the country, 3 good years consecutive because of this teacher.
When he was punishing you, are there times you felt like you hated him, like this teacher is too much on me?
Not necessarily, because I remember I was a little bit naughty.
Okay. So you felt like something.
Yes. Because my mom and my dad never used to beat us at home. So Mr. Nyauke was, I think this was a handover. It was purely a handover. Like he was my parent during school and out of school. And he made sure everything used to happen on time. And I'm saying this because by class 4, Joshua, and I think this is why I'm today talking about him. By class 4, I could read a novel of 500 pages in a day.
In a day?
Yes.
Wow.
This is class 4. This is not class 8. And this is a young man, a young boy in Kibera. These guys pushed me in a whole year, taught me how to read a novel. It reached a point in class 6, he told me, you're reading too fast. Now I'm going to teach you how to read backwards so that you read slow. These things used to look like out of the world for me at first. Then I realized I started networking with other people in Kenya National Library. I met prodigies of English. People who could spell anything, people who are the most fluent and everything. They couldn't even believe I was coming from Kibra. I used to be in the same groups with them at Kenya National Library, and I could listen to them talk and I would go like, wow. This person is so fast. Is this boy in class 6 doing like 2 novels in a day? How is that even possible, you know? Then me in Kibra, guys are going like, Steve, a novel a day? Man, you're so fast, you know?
You got people who are even above you.
Yes, and I learned a lot, because every time I would go back to Mr. Nyauke, he will tell me the whole started where I started with you. And you know, for him it was from the normal kind of reading, then there was something called line reading, then there was something called paragraph reading. He knew these things. I don't know where, I don't know how.
Are you also teaching people this kind so people can read one novel, whole novel in one day?
Do you know the perfection of this testimony? by class 5, 6, and 7, and 8, my classmates can attest I was their English teacher when Mr. Nyoke was not there.
Yeah, I can imagine.
He used to come. He used to come in class and go like, Steve, which topic are you in? And I will go like this topic, and we'll go like, Steve Londo anafunza, and guys will be okay.
You teach your fellow classmates?
I teach my fellow classmates.
In class 6?
Yes.
Now, Mashimoni Primary, Machakos High, then what? Then where?
Machakos High, I ended up in Uganda. My dad talked to a friend. I ended up in Uganda. They wanted me to go as a student because they wanted me to do history and Kiswahili. So that I could do law. I'd already performed, but my dad felt if I could add something. For me, immediately I was there, I already had the responsibilities all the way from a year back of 2-3 students I had in primary school here in Kibera that I was paying fees for. So I felt I need to work.
You were paying school fees for some kids in Kibera while still at school?
Still a student.
Where did you get the money from?
I worked with 2 organizations while I was in high school. All of them were Christian oriented organizations, and they felt that once in a while we need to give Steve pocket money. That pocket money for me translated into school fees for a child in Kibera.
And you are working and you are studying,
and I was in school
part-time or during holidays?
It wasn't an interruption, because whatever I was doing still in school. The money collection was
the school.
Yes, and once in a while outside of the school. When I was in Machakos High School, there were no much strict rules like right now in terms of how someone could actually move in and out. We used to have even day outs, like Machakos School had a day out close to monthly, like a day. The whole school would just go to the town.
And it's allowed?
Yeah, you guys go have fun, then come back, but don't do anything wrong. And they're like, yeah, it used to be like a day out. And apart from just parents, visitation, no, we used to have a day out. But Machakos High School can talk about
it. And you are not doing anything bad?
Today, I had friends up to today who were my clique of friends, who were even better readers than me, better English speakers, better performers, the likes of Evans Nzola, Philip Ndambuki. I think I still ended up with a nice group of friends. But among them, there used to be like Kina Brayo, the dancers, the drinkers. But I made sure as I came out of high school that I will never let down Kibera. I remember this was a promise I made when I was clearing class 8 in Mashimoni Primary. Mr. Mate, I work with Mr. Mate now, was my head teacher back then. We are in good hope together. This is the giving back. And I hope one day even the visitors you bring on board can actually talk about giving back, but giving back with the same people who gave to them. Because it's like a generation to the next. You don't let go the same people who gave to you. Mr. Mate was our head teacher. Mr. Nyoke used to work under him. But now the same Mr. Mate, we work together in Good Hope. He's my chairman, I'm the vice chairman.
Good Hope.
Yes, Good Hope is in Mashimoni area where the new road passed. Then Ngong Road, Langata Link Road.
How does it feel working with your former head teacher? Do you still feel like you fear him? Or now things are different on the ground?
I'll share with him this link. And I know what I'm about to say will make him laugh. Up now, I respect that man and fear him the same way.
Oh, really?
I feared him in primary school. Because it's within that has made me also love him. Because he never gave us an opportunity to mess. Because immediately I pull back from the respect and fear. You see, there's fear of running away, but there's fear called respect. Fear attached to respect, like I don't want to mess again. At this age, it's just like your parent. Your parent, even at this age, you're afraid they will throw a sandal towards you if you say something wrong. Or maybe you're standing close to them, then you do something wrong. You will always be afraid dad or mom will hit you at whatever age. So for me, Mr. Mate, wherever you are, you're one of the greatest people in my life. And this journey will be impossible without him.
Yeah, I love your journey. I love your story. Like, it really makes me feel into your shoes. Like, this guy has passed through a lot and some amazing stories and very interesting experience, you know. I think it's really good to give people opportunity to share these kind of stories. And before we proceed, this is Kibera News Network, and please subscribe to our channel. This is where we are giving people opportunity to share their personal stories to the world, to tell their own stories in their own perspective. Stories by us, with us, and for us. Also, you can reach us on WhatsApp line 0794 590404 anytime you want. And please let us know if there is anyone else you want us to bring on this show, so that they can also get an opportunity to share their stories with us. Now, you've done Kibera. You're also working in other slums. Can you tell us, which slums are you working in and doing what?
This is one of the most beautiful part of my life. The fact that Kibera, somewhere along the line said, and these are my kids, and they're watching right now. Actually, as I was coming, they called. The likes of Pauline called, Bonnie called, and all these guys were kind of like, we will be listening into the show. These kids are quite a number, sat me down a while back and told me, whatever you're doing, we will do now. So you need to continue what you've already started in Kangemi, Kibagare, Kariobangi, Mkuru kwa Njenga, Lunga Lunga, a little bit of Dandora also, Korogocho. That is big up to a guy called Okinda. Okinda is doing great work in Korogocho. Yes, the ones who've reformed part of the river area to have a sit-out area, children play park and the like.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Come Green Solutions. Those guys,
that's a good
big up, man.
Yeah.
So having listened to my kids, and I call them my kids because they call me Papa or Baba Yao, I felt it was real. It was my time. And I remember one of the quotes that was used in the meeting was, no matter how good a dancer you are, sometime you have to leave the stage.
Yes.
So my stage was Kibera. And I'd worked with so many people. I'd been on so many platforms. I'd networked, I'd traveled, you know, like it was so easy for you, even up to today, to just mention Stephen. People go like, our Wakili, you know. Yeah, so I said, why not what I've started outside there with help from different people, why don't I just now take it up and now do it myself? And that's how I ended up with doing teen pregnancy awareness Kenya in Kangemi, which outgrew Kangemi, now back to Kibera. It gave now to Kariobangi, then gave to Kibagare. Then I ended up working with the former Kapedo gang, which was disturbing.
That's still in Kangemi?
No, it's no longer called Kapedo. They're called Epic Skyline Actors. That's what we came up with. So God helped me to reform them from a gang to actors.
Now they act.
Now they act. Very good actors.
And you felt like now we need even to change this name.
They're very good actors.
Okay.
Very good actors. I wish the kind of grace that we are working with, they could get an opportunity to be on TV. It's what I'm working on.
But they still act like locally.
Yes, they act locally. They do skits. They meet people in terms of the small events and the like. They get those opportunities. Immediately after that, I also got now high schoolers in the same Kangemi. And the high schoolers, we thought what to do. For high schoolers, it's now 2 years old. It's called WASPAC. Yes, WASPAC group. And you know, also for them, they decided to do acting and music. Then I moved away a little bit from Kangemi. They're still there. We are doing. I'm the one doing with them. Then we came up with, I found Kibagare, but then they were trying to figure out what do we do, and I met the team, and you know, we came up with something, and that something gave birth to the leadership structure hierarchy. Now we have governors, deputy governors, super senators, MCAs.
Oh, they also have super senators.
Yes,
and MCAs.
yes. Okay. And then we had actually a benchmarking from the Langata youth leadership. I brought them to Kibagari. Yes, I brought them to Kibagari. And I was trying to plan to bring our own leadership that I work with in Kibera, the one I grew up with, the ones who mentored me. I also wanted to arrange a day that they could come to Kibagari and actually see what hierarchy in leadership can do in an area. And
I love that kind of exchange, kind of program.
Yes. So we're in community exchange. And I'll tell you something at the end of this show, what I'm doing as a community exchange now for all the slums. So then the likes of Deputy Governor, that is Aaron, came up with Ndugus for Dads. Sean came up with also his own CBO. We worked together on the same. Then there was Tushap who came up with Police is My Brother. We worked on that initiative. Then I moved a little bit to now Eastlands. All my friends in Eastlands thought about, but Steve, you started the human rights in Kibra. Show us on how to start human rights in our areas. And you know, just a little bit of advice, and the network had already gathered, helped a lot of the other slums in Eastlands to come up with the human rights offices. And for me, that was powerful. That was powerful. It was like a son of another slum is giving to us. And I'd say this proudly. I've been accepted in other slums as if I live there.
I can imagine.
As if I live there. I walk in the same manner. I talk to people in the same manner. I sit with people in the same manner.
And sometimes you don't have to do a lot. It's just even just a simple advice, you know.
I am telling you.
Seeking just a simple advice.
I am telling you.
People believing that Steve is the one that can help us in this. Now, I know you've done a lot. You've interacted with so many people in so many slums. Do you feel like sometimes people hate you or people talk bad about you?
That is part of organizational work. When you're so busy trying to solve challenges, what you think are challenges, there are cartels, and I'll give an example. There are cartels in those challenges who thrive in them. There's a time I remember a group of us here in Kibera wanted to solve the water issue. The cartels were on our they were on our necks like no one's business. There's even a time we wanted to solve crime issues, and I big up again Gabu, you're a great guy wherever you are. Drop the gun initiative idea, and it was trouble. So for me, I realized if in Kibera when we're trying to solve the crime issue we are in danger, let me go try it somewhere else. And by then Gaza was a big deal in Kayole. I went to work with Gaza via Tabasamu. Tabasamu is founded by Simeon Nyamakara. Amazing guy also. He gave me an opportunity, in Kayole. Matopeni was the most dangerous area. It was even flagged. It was flagged as a very dangerous area. Simeon Nyamakara told me, they are saying it's dangerous. Come, let me show you how you will talk to our young people. He opened the space for me. He took me to the inside, let me call it the bowels of crime. That's why I call him an amazing guy. Pali sasa Gaza wanakuuliza yani nukaacha Kibro kuje pali tuko. Steve, wewe si insider wa makarau. Wewe unakaa kutupeana. Wewe ni mlaina, you know. And my life was in danger for a while. I'll never forget that time. That's when I did the story of teenage gangs in Kayole. I did the story of young ladies joining crime in Kayole. And
young ladies?
Yes, young ladies were joining crime and nobody was talking about it, and I wanted to solve that issue.
And where did you do these stories?
I did with NTV.
Okay.
Yeah. They were aired in NTV and Citizen. Citizen have been my partners also for a while. And so I remember after doing these stories, I got some help. I never managed, up to today, it's not easy to get people out of crime as people think. And these are things I don't speak openly about, but because everything around crime, we call them sensitive issues. So one way or another, the cops think you're on the side of the criminals. The criminals think when in blame. And so it's a dangerous road to tread. But graciously I've treaded that road, and I have kids today who are in high school. Yes, through that initiative called Young Reformed Matopeni, through Tabasamu. Tabasamu helped me so much to work with them. Then I ended up working with Siafu both in Dandora and again in Kangemi. There was Siafu, a young team. You know, even it came to Kibera, Lainsaba, Kijiji. Young people started calling themselves Siafu. And so yes, it was a big deal. And so I've been in the midst of this all, and it has brought a lot of hate all my life. And that hate is not new to me. At first I used to feel like, what do I do to make this person love me? But do you know what I have to do? Is let him go what I work on, what I'm working on. Like I just leave you in crime. Even if you die in crime, it's okay. This guy will love me. But my calling and my passion is to actually get you, because some of the kids we worked with in Matopeni Primary were in class 7, class 8. And Simeon, when he watches this, I hope he will comment about it. When we were working in Kayole, a class 7, during a football game, got very angry because he was roughed. You know, the referee went like, the boy got angry, went back to class, got a gun and shot his friend.
What?
Yes.
He had a gun?
Yes. It was a big deal. It was a big deal. So imagine us working with such a boy to show him, come out of crime. We can help you go back to school. And after school, God willingly, within what we do as IGA programs, we can help you, you know, get some money. And so someone else outside there who is the kingpin of the crime, or what you call crime lord, will be so angry with us.
Be so angry.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
You are like interfering with him.
It was even for the cops. Let's be honest. I'm here to testify. Even the cops, once in a while, I've been haters on my work in terms of why are you doing this, and I hope this cop will watch this. I remember he told me, Steve, why are you taking our customers away?
Oh, because the thieves,
they collude. They collude together. They work together, and then, you know, at their own time. And I want to big up Kenya Human Rights Commission and that Kina Mswaki, Kina Rachel Mwekali for working against extrajudicial killings in all the slums, because it all starts somewhere. There's a relationship before a young man is actually dead.
True. So out of all this work, this engagement in all these different places, have you ever sat down and think that this is my favorite? I feel like I'm so proud to have been engaged in this. Just one. I know they are all amazing, but which one is your favorite?
My favorite is when I work with street families.
Street families?
Yes. Bonoko Safara, Bonoko, big up man. You opened up a whole platform for me.
Did you work with Bonoko at some point?
Yes, he's a brother to me.
Wow.
We talk, we work together for like, even, was it yesterday? I gave someone contacts to go do a story in Ngara. He's the one who opened Ngara for me to talk to street families and help them in feeding and giving them clothing. Then there's Mike Ujimoto, that is Joy Divine, big up also. This guy Mlango Kubwa, where all street families go to have uji. Yes.
So what exactly were you doing with street families?
This makes it even prouder because do you know there are days for me when I wanted to understand street families, I went to Madare, a place called Kiboro, and once or twice I had even to sit out with them at a ground where they used to sleep late into the night just to understand their lives. I even had to end up carrying Masai Shuka to sleep out.
Yes. In Madare?
Yes, Kiboro area.
To experience?
Just to experience what they experience.
How was it?
God takes care of his people. These people go through the hardest life anyone could ever imagine. I don't know if they have families or not, but do you imagine even when it's raining, someone sleeps on the ground? Then they wake up, and if by any chance they get 5 shillings or 10 shillings, they use it on drugs so that they forget they are angry. And even the clothes we used to take to them, like right now I'm collecting clothes for Kawangware.
I work with street families?
Yes. So I'm working, I'm collecting.
So many things, man.
Yes, so that's why I'm proud about this. I'm really proud because when you change the life of a chokora. That's the word we grew up knowing as chokora. It's different than working with an orphanage or working with a school or working with a home, because this is someone you got at their worst point. Like they've given up, they're now doing the survival mode. You know, a human being can switch off, can switch on survival mode. And then you get this someone from there to either school, working. I don't think there's a bigger testimony than that. And so that's why I'm proud about it, because I've worked with a couple of street people, and there's a young man called Eddie who will watch this, and he's one of the biggest testimonies in my life. He's now balling in money because he runs his own companies and he's from the streets, but now he's doing this. Then there's a couple I can mention. There's even Sam from Kariobangi. I met him while doing something in Kariobangi, and I had a gunia and everything. Sam right now has a business hotel. So guys are out there, and
so did you help them to be where they are?
Yes. So you know, you meet them, then you work with them in rehabilitation. I get a lot of help when it comes to street families. They're just specific people who help me, because even the former governor of Nairobi, Big Up Mike Sonko, you helped me with Yasmin from Mathare, and he paid more than 100,000 Kenyan shillings for rehabilitation for Yasmin in Mathare. And you see, through rehabilitation, when someone comes out, there's something called reintegration back to society, where now you need to help them gain back their life. And that's where some of my partners come in, would do work around income generating activities, or what we are calling sustainable programs. So they train them on business, like the skills I was talking about in terms of photostat before we started the show. You know, they train them on that, and then immediately after that they attach them into something and provide a little grant for that. And so ni Mungu, ni kazi ya Mungu.
Guys, we still have Stephen Sunza here, Baba Yao. Some people call him Kiongozi. He has passed through a lot of things, man, and he has done a lot, and he's so connected, and this is just amazing. I'm glad that I had you in this show. I didn't know about all this, and I think there are people out there who are also just wondering, so people have stories out here. But let's go back to, sometimes you are called Wakili,
Yes.
So are you a Wakili? Tell us about your law and Wakili.
Yes. 2008, when I came back to Kenya, I reported to Nairobi University. They were opening up Mombasa campus, Nairobi University, and I felt the need to go try something new. I could have remained at Parklands, but our whole class decided to go to Mombasa, and we are pioneers of Mombasa Campus School of Law. And for 4 good years in Mombasa, I ended up not only doing law, but I also worked as a clearing and forwarding agent, gate number 18 in Changamwe. Because remember again, I had responsibilities of fees. So every opportunity I got to work, I did it well. My classmates, I have like a couple of classmates, we are partners, like 2 firms running now. And I look back and I realized the reason I did law, I wanted to open the Human Rights Office in Kibra. So in 2011, I remember I met Pamela Kwede from Christ the King. Yes, and she introduced me to the whole crew at Christ the King who wanted to come up with the office. And I told her, this is my dream come true. And believe me, it was like God was just setting the road for me. And so without a lot of struggle, that's how Pamela and the team in Christ the King, Line Saba, gave me an office.
And now you have an office in Kibra?
Yes, Christ the King. Christ the King. I handed it back to them when I was moving out to open another office in Kangemi. So Joanne Wakili Pia joined the team later on. There was Kina Stephen, also Mzee, tulikuwa tunamwita Mzee Stephen, amazing. These are guys who later on, after a lot of training, I had a lot of training to do in Kibra. I used to do classes called action groups. I taught every slum, not every slum, every village in Kibera had an action group where I would teach them on matters of law, the constitution, human rights, any extension of the law. And we had classes.
Again, giving back to the community.
Yes, because I realized it was overwhelming for me to do the pro bono I was doing, because in a day people just fill the office. And Maureen, wherever you are, that's an amazing woman from Christ the King. People will just fill my office.
They need your help.
And you know, it's
pro bono.
Issue after issue. Believe me, by afternoon you are either overwhelmed or dead inside, because these are issues that could have been solved. But you know, I don't know, mnyonge anaaki. That's where Nini, voice of the people came in. Mnyonge, voice of the people came from there.
That's why you came up with the name, voice of the people.
Yes, so because I was very, very vocal about issues in Kibera.
Voice of the people.
Yes, anything that was wrong in Kibera, I got the platform. I went and spoke against it. I went, you know, and advised what the people were feeling about it. And these action groups are the people that right now help in Kibra on matters of law.
To advise other people.
Yes, legally. They advise, they run around on, they're like, in a legal term, it's paralegals.
Okay, paralegals.
Yes.
So you are a lawyer by profession?
Yes.
Do you practice it? Like, do you represent people in court?
What I did, I remember in 2012, the graduation season, that was the biggest question in my life. Do I want to do, because a lawyer, there's a difference between a lawyer and an advocate. Yes. So the question for me was, I'm now clearing law. Do I really want to become an advocate? Do I really want to spend my time in court? Or do I want to use the knowledge that I've gotten, you know, give back to the people and, you know, allow the community to be, to have a legal framework that works. And I continue with my work, because one of the things I was aiming, even when I was in law, I was aiming at an organizational idea that I had. And so I made that decision. I remember sharing it with my mom, and she told me, are you mad? You don't want to do advocacy? I told her, yes, I don't want to do advocacy. I don't want to spend my time in court all through, but I want to be the person that advocates will run to on something called filing. On matters of criminology. And so that became me. I decided I will not do advocacy for the 8 months. I will leave that to my classmates, and immediately, and this is now the biggest testimony in law for me. Immediately, I refused to do advocacy for the 8 months. I just cleared my law and decided I'll use the law I have. I got an opportunity with Metrovet Kenya. From Metrovet Kenya, I ended up in ASBA. From ASBA Kenya, I ended up in Kindiu Development within a period of a year and a half. When I ended up in Kindiu Development Company as the director, I had more opportunities of work for my classmates than anything they could ever give back to me on matters of conveyancing. So the same classmates who went to Kenya School of Law came back, wanted to do something, and they had to call me now a director at Kindiu Development Company. Wakili, what do we do? And I told them, come to my office. And I remember that's how we came up with a couple of the farms. And because I had a lot of opportunities on land matters in Mavoko municipality, and I gave them all that work. And I think that's why I say for me the decision not to do advocacy was actually a blessing. So I decided I will not go into court, as much as I'm very good in speech and the like, even in moot courts. But I felt I could use my law differently, and I brought it this way. So I did the human rights office. That's why we brought in Joanne Wakili, so that she could do the advocacy angle. And then I do the filing, the pro bono legal advices, the follow-ups. I used to also be in court, but I never used to stand up to talk about anything. For me, it used to be, and I'm with my colleague Stephen Zusa here, and so that's how I've worked around my legal life.
Is there something in life that you regret, maybe having done or having not done, generally? Do you have any regrets that you can think of?
I don't think so.
Ama wewe ni ile mtu tu maisha yako
No, I don't think so. It's not even smooth. I've gone through some of the hardest things Kibra and any other slum could, even the world could actually provide.
Yeah. So you've made,
I think,
always made the right decisions.
My spirituality. You see, a lot of leaders might not be. These will sound judgmental. I will not use those words. No, this is what I'm saying. A lot of people have not taken their spirituality that serious.
Yeah.
For me, Christianity, the Islamic religion, and any other religion I've ever read, I've followed the steps that have been input and ingrained in those books, holy books. I follow like step by step. Okay. And my Christianity has actually grown out of that, and I love God for that. So for me, I'm never afraid to tell people ni Mungu. Everything that I do is all about God and Christ in my life that has actually superseded who I am, to push me to limits that I could not even reach. Because even at this point, I was telling, even as we at the end of the show, even at this point, there are things I'm doing now that I never thought I would ever be able to do. Because I came up, I'm doing consultancy now for organizations. Yes.
You are now into consulting.
Yes.
What do you consult about?
I consult from an organizational growth angle. As an organization, every startup organization or even a company startup, they have those questions. We are ready to start. We will pay. We will get the certificate. But after that, how do we even operate?
How do we grow?
Yes. Which offices do we need for us to be legally binded the right way?
Yeah.
Yes. And so.
Okay.
That's me for now. For now, that's what we are doing.
Are you married? Tell us about your family.
Mama Yao. Nakupenda bure. Yes, I'm married to one wife and 3 children.
Okay.
Yes.
Which sports do you like?
Football.
What are your favorite teams in Kibera, Kenya, and England?
Kibera United stands for me.
Yeah.
Outside there, Manchester United, all the way from whence I was a kid.
Okay.
In Kenya, I still stand with Gor.
Gor. Thank you very much. Is there anything else you'd want to add before we close this show?
At the moment, I'm running a pool table tournament for all slums. So I'm moving around slums. I come up with a tournament and I bring young people to play the tournament for one reason. At the end of the year, all those slums will be in the same spot playing, the leaders or the winners. The idea is to bring all slums together. It's like a community exchange idea. Why am I doing this? Peace. We are about to go to 2022 and we need peace.
Peace.
Yes.
Pool table around the slums.
Yes.
That was Stephen Souza with us at Kibera News Network live on YouTube, and you've heard the story. Thank you very much for watching. Till we meet again next week with a new guest. Thank you so much. I'm your host, Ogure Joshua. Bye-bye.
We are good? Thank you.
Moses, are we good?
Yeah.